Chapter 1. First, we're going to review some keywords. Scientific notation. So if on your calculator you see something like 1.54 e to the negative 5, that means 0.0000154. So basically, if it's a negative, you move to the left that many decimal spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This can also be a positive. It would move to the right that many spots. Then inequalities. This is the less than symbol, greater than, equal to, and not equal to. This would be less than or equal to, and this would be greater than or equal to. So now we get into 1.1, the introduction to the practice of statistics. So the objectives for this section is to define statistics and statistical thinking, explain the process of statistics, determine the level of measurement of a variable, be able to distinguish between qualitative and quantitative, and then discrete and continuous variables. So let's start with the definition of statistics. It is the science of collecting, organizing, summarizing, and analyzing information to draw conclusions or answer questions. In addition, statistics is about providing a measure of confidence in any conclusions. So when you think of statistics, what we're trying to do is gather information from a sample and project it to the population. So that is what this last sentence is kind of saying. So we will get into that more in this section and in this whole course. Let's move on to defining data. It is a fact or proposition used to draw a conclusion or make a decision. Data describes characteristics of an individual. So what might be some examples? Well, we could have maybe your IQ score, heights, eye color, age, miles per gallon, and so on. So if we were to do an experiment on something, would it be important for the data to vary? So think of, do you think there are any experiments out there that figure out how many hearts or brains are in a human body? Probably not, because we know that there is one brain and one heart in humans. So that is not interesting to us. So we want data to vary because it would be interesting. So yes, it wouldn't be interesting if the data didn't vary. We wouldn't need to do a study on the number of hearts. in someone. But IQs, there is something interesting because it changes. And why? Why are IQs higher for some people than they are for others? That's what's interesting. Is it where they grew up? Is it the way they were raised? Is it genetics? So many questions that we could be asking why. So then the next part is, where can variability occur? Well, it can occur within a group, or within an individual. So think of how much sleep you got last night. So you may say 8 hours, and then I would ask, how much did you get the night before? And you would say maybe 6. So then I would go ahead and say, well, why did you not get a full 8 hours in that first night? And you would maybe say, I had a lot of homework that night. I had to get ready for class. I had to work that night. So that is the variability. So it can occur within you, or it can occur within the group. So what are 2 major goals of variability? One is to describe the variability, and then the second would be to understand sources of variability. So if we think about this, with our sleeping through the night, or the amount of sleep that we received, well, we're describing the variability, and then we understand that the variability comes from maybe having to work or having extra homework that night. The next question is, can you get exact answers or the same results as other individuals in statistics when using a sample? So think of this. If I asked you to figure out the commute time of CVTC students, would you get the same answer as another student who asked students? Most likely no, right? Because you would have to be sampling the same individuals, and that is very unlikely to happen. The only way that you would get the same exact answer is if you asked everyone in the whole population. So if no, what do we report? So we report results with a level of confidence. So the end of this course, or most of this course, I should say, is we are working up to projecting our samples and projecting what we found to the population. So this is called inferential statistics. And with that, there's a level of confidence, and then there's also a range. So an example would be, we are 95% confident that the average commute for CVTC students is 15 to 20 minutes. So what we are doing here is we are projecting from our sample to the whole population. So when you do that, you have to have a level of confidence and you have to have a range. This is inferential statistics, and you will learn a lot about this throughout all of the chapters.